Good evening, everyone. My name is Emily Cendejas-Garcia, and I would like to begin by sincerely thanking all of you who have made it possible for AIM Higher scholars like me to pursue and benefit from a Catholic education. The story of who I am today begins back in middle school at St. Alphonsus in Brooklyn Center, a Catholic school that has since closed, but made a huge difference in my life. My childhood was both pleasant and chaotic, growing up with 3 siblings and being the second youngest. Nevertheless, my parents never let us see how much they struggled financially. But even as a child, I knew how hard they worked. They each held multiple jobs, and despite barely being able to speak English, they still showed up and were amazing parents. Now you can imagine that providing a private education for 4 children is no small challenge, but thanks to the AIM Higher Foundation, kids like myself were given the chance I otherwise would not have. Some of my best memories were created in middle school at St. Alphonsus, and I learned more than just math and science. I discovered the pieces of who I wanted to be. At different times, I wanted to become a nun, a teacher, or even a doctor, an ophthalmologist to be exact. And you may be wondering why such a niche career choice. Well, when I was in elementary grade, I met my best friend who's actually here supporting me tonight. She taught me life lessons about kindness and sharing, whether that be buying me something at the book fair so I wouldn't feel isolated, or sitting with me at lunch. Her aura shaped the way I saw the world, and it wasn't just her, but all the friends I made along the way at St. Alphonsus. Those friendships shaped who I was becoming and who I became, and through their goodness, I was reminded of God's goodness too. I'm thankful to have an education that helped me see and value that. So back to my story of what I wanted to become later in life. Even though my career interests were all different, to me they shared the same purpose, a purpose my Catholic education made crystal clear. I wanted to make a difference in the world and leave it better than I found it. High school and college were difficult, but the faith and confidence that had been instilled in me and my Catholic education were far stronger than any fears or doubts I had. One of the activities I was most proud of in college was that I served as a student president where my team and I worked to create events that helped our students feel more connected. This included a dodgeball tournament. We were the smallest of the 9 colleges at the university that were present at this event. We barely had 8 players, which was the minimum, while other colleges showed up with 30 students. But, spoiler, my college won, of course. Thank you. I'm proud to announce that I was the first in my family to attend college, and in May I graduated from the University of Minnesota, class of 2025, with a bachelor's degree in construction management. I currently work at Ryan Companies as a project engineer assigned to the Boston Scientific Project in Maple Grove. Yeah, Working in the construction industry as a woman of color can definitely feel lonely at times, but I often think back to middle school where I first learned to navigate challenges as a first-generation student. I feel blessed to be a representation for my community because, as many of you know, the construction industry is made up of many Hispanics and Latinos. When I'm out in the field, I always try to make it a point to say hi to everyone, and it always feels easier to build a connection with people who remind me of my own family and culture. I also hope that by being in a male-dominated field, that I can be a model for other women who dream of stepping into spaces where they don't always see themselves. One value I hold closest to my heart comes from Matthew chapter 7, verse 12, also known as the Golden Rule. Treat others how you want to be treated. A very simple yet impactful verse that still guides me every day. The donors who gave to the AIM Higher Foundation when I was a student, maybe that's you, follow this rule, treating my future and promise with the same commitment they would have given their own children. Who I am today is because of my parents' sacrifices and the foundation laid by the school they worked so hard to put me in, and for that I will always be thankful. As I begin this next chapter of my life, I hope to give back to the community the same way all of you have, by giving students the opportunity to aim higher. Thank you all and have a good night.